Hello, I'm Andrew, and this is my Series 3 of the weekly podcasts 50 Ways to Succeed at Work. These podcasts build confidence and know-how. Consequently, they can help you achieve happiness at work. By the way, that's also the title of my book, available at Amazon and from the book's website, My Happiness at Work. Now for today's episode in Series 3. Welcome to episode 14 in Series 3, 50 Ways to Succeed at Work. Today I'm talking about ambition plus humility. It's an unbeatable career combination. What does humility mean to you? Here's what it means to some well-known people. Satya Nadella, Microsoft's CEO, is famous for his humble leadership style. He listens carefully to employees, values their input, and encourages joint work. Under his leadership, Microsoft has expanded significantly and made many breakthroughs. Barra, CEO of General Motors, has consistently shown humility by admitting mistakes and taking responsibility. She led GM through a major ignition switch recall crisis, demonstrating openness and accountability. The company rebounded, set new standards, and regained public trust. Indra Nooyi, the former CEO of PepsiCo, valued staying connected with employees at all levels. She joined in conversations, listened to feedback, and emphasized teamwork. The company's growth and expansion during her tenure were remarkable. She left a lasting legacy as a humble and direct, effective leader. Now for some good news. You don't need to be a high-level CEO to gain from combining ambition with humility. Maria is a dedicated nurse who always pays attention to patients' needs. She listens carefully to their concerns, treats them kindly, and accepts her limitations. Patients appreciate her caring concern, and her colleagues admire her teamwork. Maria's humility fosters a positive work environment and better patient outcomes. As a software developer, Alex makes a specific effort to seek feedback from peers, especially when they lack knowledge. His humility prompts better results and a stronger team. So, is humility sensible? Accepting our failings keeps us grounded. It encourages ethical behavior. For example, Warren Buffett, one of the world's most successful investors, says, "It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently." Buffett's wisdom highlights the value of humility in decision-making. Reputation matters, as does being willing to do things differently. In many organizations, ambition mixed with self-promotion creates an unpleasant workplace. If you got one of those, you should rightly question what it means to be humble and whether this is a sound way to behave. For many of us, though, humility is an excellent idea, even if it seems outdated. For example, some typical behaviors that are humble include: you welcome constructive feedback from your supervisor during a performance review. When faced with negative criticism, you avoid becoming defensive and instead listen with care. You also accept that there are areas for improvement and commit to making changes. You acknowledge others' contribution to a project and ensure that no one is left out. As a seasoned employee, you mentor a new hire. Rather than assuming superiority, you patiently guide the newcomer, answer questions, and ensure a smooth transition. Humility can be a powerful work asset, especially when combined with solid ambition. Together, they can benefit your career and contribute to a healthier work environment. But how do you find the right balance between showing ambition and humility? Humility isn't about grand gestures. It's about small acts of kindness that make the world a better place. Okay, you don't expect to improve the world, yet consider the power of humility at work. Humble individuals like to collaborate, they share resources, and they produce high-quality work. Even without being a CEO, you can still usefully combine ambition with humility. For example, you can accept your limitations and appreciate other people's strengths. As a humble work colleague, you are approachable and supportive. You encourage active listening and stay open to diverse views. In professional relationships, humble individuals successfully build trust and understanding. They don't regard it as old-fashioned to admit mistakes, apologize when necessary, and treat others respectfully. The result is they create lasting and often essential connections. A humble mindset, underpinned by ambition, reduces stress and promotes gratitude. It also enhances overall well-being. It encourages social harmony and bridges gaps between people. Of course, some people give humility a lousy rap, arguing it reduces self-worth. Yet genuine humility combined with ambition shows your humanity. So what about the signs? Well, you're humble when you avoid bragging. You welcome feedback. You self-reflect and acknowledge others. For example, humble people don't constantly boast of their successes. Instead, they empower others and celebrate collective achievements. You show humility when you're open to criticism and accept that you've got room for growth. Humble people seek feedback and learn from it. Are you good at self-reflection? That's another sign that you have a good dose of humility in your makeup. You regularly question your opinions, positions, and viewpoints. You're also willing to change your mind and adapt your beliefs when necessary. So let's look at when humility goes wrong. When you exercise humility, you don't become invisible. You're someone who comes forward and acknowledges others. While humility can be valuable, it can also go wrong. For instance, you can have too much of it. Suppose you're reluctant to tell your seniors about your successes. How do you expect the good news to somehow filter down to them if you don't inform them? Share your successes. Genuinely humble people know their worth and understand their strength and contributions. Rather than downplaying your achievements, share modestly. Most of all, accept praise graciously and don't push it away like some alien force. A friend visited a famous actor after a successful stage performance. This friend offered copious praise, but the actor kept modestly brushing the praise aside, making it seem almost irrelevant. Finally, his exasperated friend said, "Look, accept the praise, enjoy it. You may never get such a good result ever again." Sometimes, as with this actor, you can be just too humble. Too much humility means downplaying your accomplishments or expertise in every conversation. Acknowledge your abilities without arrogance. Being humble does not mean saying yes to everything. So what are my final thoughts? Well, first of all, humility is not a weakness, it's a strength. And secondly, unless you fail to exercise the basics of accepting feedback, acknowledging your mistakes and asking others for help and being an active listener, humility is worth pursuing. Combined with ambition, it's a career strength and worth cultivating. You've been listening to an episode of Series 3 of my weekly podcast, 50 Ways to Succeed at Work. You can hear the other podcasts at the 50ways.site, that's 50.site. There are nearly 100 titles and you can search for any issue that interests you. If you have any questions, you can always drop me a line from there. Also, check out my book, Happiness at Work. It's packed with great stories, compelling advice, and suggestions for tackling real issues that you can encounter at work. It's at Amazon or at the book's website, myhappinessatwork.com. There's also an audio version if you prefer listening. Join me next week for another unmissable episode in Series 3. Bye for now.